investors are now abandoning the euro. Both France and Germany have reportedly threatened to pull out of the euro if no solutions to the crisis are found. The president of the European Central Bank warned Europe was facing severe tensions and that the markets were fragile. Even Obama advisor Paul Volcker warned of the potential disintegration of the euro, and he's now added, clearly, I think, we have to say the euro failed and fell into a trap that was evident at the beginning. Well, if it was, Paul, how come you never said anything about it? I told you last summer, look out. And I'm telling you now, look out, because it's coming our way. What happens if the euro fails? Well, bond values of the weaker European nations, Spain, Greece, Portugal, are going to plummet. That means they're not going to be able to pay for things. Financial institutions are going to take a bath. But do you remember the episode on this show, and I've done it I don't know how many times now, of mutually assured economic destruction? I've told you that these things are going to fall like a set of dominoes. What was the story in the New York Times today? That Europe could fall like dominoes. France and Germany will be affected heavily because they hold vast amounts of bonds from Spain, Greece, and Portugal. America is deeply intertwined with the banking institution of France and Germany. Why do you think Obama was on the phone with Merkel? I mean, because he loves Germans or Greeks? No, because it matters to us, because this is coming our way. And a lot of his friends are causing it over there and are setting it up over here. We have massive, massive economic trouble coming our way. And it doesn't just stop at Greece. We're on our way there. Arnold Schwarzenegger came out and said California's situation is just like Greece. Well, Arnie, welcome to the party. Now let me show you something else. This is SCIU.
Bank of America.
This is SCIU and another radical organization intimidating bank executives. That is someone's front yard. That's a guy's front porch. On private property, they are now coming in and storming people's houses. Oh, that's going to end up well. Remember, gang, we don't have the stress yet. People don't get it yet. They don't know what's coming. They aren't really, truly affected, you know, besides the 20% unemployment. It hasn't gotten there yet. It's not bad yet. Citigroup's top economist says the public finances in the majority of the advanced industrial countries are in worse state today than any time since the Industrial Revolution. German Chancellor Angela Merkel, hang on just a second. This is before World War II. Now, Angela Merkel said over the weekend that with the rescue package, we have done nothing more than buy time until we've brought order to these competitive differences and to the budget deficits of individual European countries. Buying time, wait a minute, to erase those individual differences. That means Germany has to lower its standard to be able to get to Portugal, or Portugal needs to raise its standards to be able to get to Germany. Which do you think is going to happen? Buying time. Do you really think that people that have billions and billions of dollars believe this one? Do you really believe that George Soros believes that? Oh, no, this is great. And he's just got all his money the way it's always been? Really? Really? Not a chance in hell. Fundamental transformation. They know it, and this is global. The worst is not behind us. I don't want you to get discouraged because we're going to make it. It's just going to be one hell of a ride. This is a $1 trillion stall tactic that they're trying right now. $1 trillion stall tactic. Now, why would you spend $1 trillion to stall for something? You know what this is? This is like if you're driving an old car. Okay, you're driving an old car and you just want to you just want to get rid of the darn thing because the engine's on fire. It's blowing smoke everywhere. You know it's not going to last. Why would you spend money to make it run just a little while? And I mean double the value of the car in money. Why would you do that? You wouldn't do that unless you just had to make it to the next exit and trade it in on something that was waiting for you. If you were just trying to make it, just make it till the end of the week because your car's not ready. I'm telling you, that's what's happening here. We just don't know what our trade-in looks like, or they haven't told us. I think it's going to resemble a little like a Yugo, quite honestly, a global socialist vehicle. Oh, there's nothing like a Yugo, really. And it's nothing like what we have. But it's coming. And I fear it's going to come quicker and quicker. It's like birth pangs. They're going to come stronger and closer together. Merkel just said that we are only buying time. So I ask you now, if that's what they're doing, buying time, and they're using their time to do something, what are you using the time for? America, this is your third warning now that I've counted. This is the third time I've heard people say, we're just buying time. And they're buying time to prepare. It's going to come down, really, to these two choices. Which do you believe, this one or this one? John Nichols, the co-founder of the radical Marxist group Free Press, said, quoting Joel Rogers, hungry people fighting over food don't usually make real sound decisions. You think? You have to make yours now. Look, this whole thing is like the Titanic. Do you remember the scene in the Titanic when it's first starting to sink? And everybody's like, no, this is unsinkable. It can't happen. The White Star Line, it's the Titanic. It's the strongest ship ever built. Okay, remember that? And then they started to figure it all out. Okay? Then things in the lower decks started to get bad. This is at the very end. This is the very end. But at the point just before this, the lower decks, they're starting to sense it. And people right here, they're getting onto the lifeboats. Get onto the lifeboats. They're taking their time. They're being orderly. Others are inside. They're not paying any attention. But as the water comes up, floor after floor after floor, and you see the people at the bottom, they realize that it is sinking. Then there's a problem. Then they realize, and they start to come up. When it gets to this point, it's too late. This is the point that we're headed towards. When this ship, it's sinking now. When it rises up, you are going to slide into the arms of somebody. You've got to be off this ship. You've got to build lifeboats. You've got to prepare your family. You have to do it because you have to help others. Do you know enough to defend liberty? Do you know the difference between individual liberty and collective liberty? Are you strong enough? I've been eating fruit all day because I realize, I got news for you, man. A world without cupcakes? I'm dead within 2 hours. I got to get into shape. We have to get into shape. And you know what? If I'm wrong on everything, well, I'm wrong on everything. Big deal. Man, I'll celebrate the day I'm wrong. And everybody's like, woo, we dodged that bullet, huh? You remember when Beck was saying it was like the Titanic? I'll be applauding you. I had to give 2 speeches. One was in Liberty University, Jerry Falwell's old university. I had to give that this weekend. And then one at the NRA that night. And I hit on one theme last night. It's what we need to be doing to prepare. I'm going to show it to you next.
The Lord gives us all our own stick. He gives us every tool we need. And while we as humans may look at it and say, what am I going to do with a stick? He knows. Trust in Him. The easy stuff is the answer. Right now, you've got the greatest minds all over the world trying to figure out what to do. Turn to God and live.